Evening everybody, Rich here, back for part 4 of this SS Canberra tutorial. Today's focus is the ship's, the front of the ship's superstructure. So you can see the superstructure over there, where the crosshairs are, is this area here we're trying to work on here, the front curved section, which is going to be hell to build. I've done 2 test runs and, or 2 test builds, and it's worked out fine, but I can't guarantee it's going to work out perfect, but anyway, we'll see. So what we're going to do, we're going to go out to the outside edge of the ship first. I'm going to work on the side panels first. So if we go from the tip of the bow all the way out to the outside edge over here, so it's basically section 26. If you remember, we've labelled all the sections of the ship, so this would be number 26 here on the outside. So if you still got the labels on there, you should be fine. So number 26 is this outside one here. So we're going to start from the end, the top very end of number 26, and we're going to build it in white. And so for 26 we want to build forward on the end here, go forward 2, 2, and then up 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think that's right. So it's up 9, up 7. That's the theory anyway. And then what we're going to do is remove so I think 7 blocks at the bottom. So if we go down to the bottom, because there's going to be a lifeboat station here, so we've got to remove, if we remove say 2 there and 2 there, that's 2 in height, so that's 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So basically you just want to remove 7. So you got basically, so you got a 7 block gap between the bottom here and the deck, because there's going to be a lifeboat station here, but that's just going to be it looks weird at the moment, but yeah, if you want to you can leave it there, and then we'll come back to it. So if I put it back 2, 2, and then up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so we've got the 9 there. I'll come back to it later on and explain it a bit better, but if you want to do that now you can, but like I say, you don't have to do that now. So it's 2, 2 forward, and then up 9, up 7, and it should look something like that. And then we move forward onto section 25, which is the next row along, next row forward, and I'll just adjust my notes. For section 25 we want to go forward 2, so 1, 2, and then up 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 again, 1, 2, 3, and then 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 2, like so, and then, that can't be right, can it? We're currently a block low, so bear with me a second. Okay, that's my mistake now, so I'm going to do that again. It's meant to be up 5, so I'll change that again. So what it was forward 2, and then up 3, 1, 2, 3, and then up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then up 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so it's forward 2, up 3, up 5, up 9, and then behind that we go up 2. Like so, and that should bring it to roughly the same height. And then from that 2 we're going to build back 23, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and that connects to the top of the previous row, and it should look something like that. It looks silly at the moment, I know, but that's how it's going to be. So bear with me while I read the next bit and we shall move on. Right, so what we do next, I did say this could go one of many ways, and it already has. Right, so now we're going to move on to the next row along, which is number 24, so to this row here. And from row 24 we go forward 2, so 1, 2, and then we go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like that. And then behind the top block of that 7, so we're building behind it now, and we go up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2, 1, 2, and that should be the same height as the previous one. That's fine. So as you can see, we go forward 2 and then up 3, and then we go up 7, and then we go up 4, 4, 2. So you can see it curves forward and then curves back. So you got that row of 2 at the top there. And then from that row of 2 we build back 19, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and that connects to the next row along. So we're getting there. It's not going too bad so far, only one mistake. And I corrected it. Right, so that's that one. So now we move on to the next row along, which is number 23. Okay, jump cut there. I just had to restart the servo because the bloody thing went to seizure mode. Anyway, so we've done 26, 25 and 24. So now we're on to number 23. So for 23 we're going to be building this one up but leaning backwards, okay? So on the end of 23 we build up 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And then behind that we're going to build up 4 rows of 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's 4 rows of 3 like that. And then up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 2, 1, 2, and then 2 again, 1, 2. That's the same height again, and then we build back 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And once again that connects onto the previous row. Not looking too bad, does it? There, right, so there we go. So now we've done 23, so now we move on to number 22. So bear with me a second. So from number 23 we want to go up, no, from row 22, sorry. So from 22 what we're going to do, we're going to count back to the 4th block from the front. So that's the first block there, and so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and on that 4th block you build back 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So like I say, it's the 4th block back, and then you build back 4, and then 3, 1, 2, 3, and then up 2, 1, 2, and then up 4 rows of 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's 4 rows of 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we want a row of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 2 rows of 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2. It's the same height again. And then back 3. 1, 2, 3. And that connects onto the previous row. There we go. That's that section done. So that is how it should look when it's all done. And what you do then, you do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so from 26 to 22 basically you do that same design and it should match up quite nicely. We will fill in the gaps between each section, but not just yet because I'm going to do the measuring of the side panels for the lifeboat stations, but you know, it shouldn't be too bad nonetheless. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do a quick copy paste. So with the yellow I just count back 1, 2, 3, 4 and copy from there, and I'll copy it down to the centre, then flip it over and then paste it to the other side. So copy it down to the centre there, and then we do copy, flip to the right and then paste, and there we go. That's both sides in place in theory, and they should look something like that. So that's both sides, and yeah, it's nothing, it doesn't look anything at the moment, but I assure you when it's done it will look a complete mess like that one over there. So yeah, that's that. So the next job we want to do is to go to the tip of the bow, and we're going to count back. So if we go to the tip of the bow, and I trust you've added all the deck in so far, so what we're going to do is going to go to the very tip of the bow and go to the tip or the first block of the wood, which is that one there, and just get my notes, and we're going to count back to the 77th block back. So that's the first block, and we're going to go to the 77th back. Now I've already put a marker there, so I don't need to count, but I will measure it when I get there. So between these two white blocks is the 77th block. So on the 77th block we're going to build, and I'm going to put a marker there. So that's the centre block there. So like I say, it's the 77th block back. And as you can see, well, you did see at the end of that pink sentence, it was 77 blocks. So it's the 77th back. We put the centre block, and then we're going to build this wall 11 wide. So that's 5 either side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that way. And then we want 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 3, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then 4 rows of 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then back 2, 1, 2, and then back 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2, 1, 2, and that should connect. That should connect to the bottom 4 of the outside edge of there. Now that is just a theory. Right, so remember, the difference between theory and reality is an awful lot. Alright, so we'll do the same on the other side. So it's 2 rows of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 2 rows of 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of 2, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, and then 2 back, and then 4 back, 1 2 3 4, and then 2 back, 1 2, and that connects to the other side like so, and it should in theory look something like that. Just double checking around the side. And then what we want to do is from that end row of 2, so this last row of 2 here we just added, the first block we're going, or both blocks, we're going to increase it to 3 high, so 2 there and 2 there, so it makes it 3 high, and then you build all these walls around the edge to 3 blocks high. Okay, now actually scrap that, so we'll remove those 2 blocks there, or those 4 blocks, and we'll start this a different way. So we don't build it to 3 high, ignore that, okay, because we've got to build these sections up. So this is going to be a pain in the ass, so I'm going to have to do a quick think here, so bear with me. Right, so just having a quick think here. Yeah, and I do apologies for screwing this up, but how we're going to do it. So for what we're going to do, so from the last row, so from this row of 2 here, what we're going to do, we're going to build, I'm going to go over to the prototype, make sure I do this right, because I don't really want to screw this up. So actually what I did say was right, so what we do increase that to 3 high. Okay, so this is my mistake again, so I build that to 3 high, and then build all this wall all the way around to 3 high that we just built, so all the way around to that end row of 2, so build it 3 high all the way around. And like I say, I do apologise for not doing this properly, but it's a really complicated thing to write down, and also even more complicated to explain, and that is what people don't appreciate. When I fuck things up, it's genuine. Okay, when I screw things up, you know, I mean it. It's not pretty. So I just carry on building this 3 high all the way around, and I will. Well, if you do follow this, you know, I will try and do this properly. So just build it all the way around to that last row of 2, which is that one there. So there we go. Right, so that's all increased to 3 high. Right, so what we're going to do is go back round to the, well, I'm working on the right hand side here, but really I could work on the left. Anyway, so with these sections that we're going to build now, are going to be leaning backwards, so this could go one of many ways. I'm just going to put the light on a bit. Hang on, put the light on so I can read what I'm doing. So for the last row, what we're going to do is have a think. Bear with me a second. Right, just had to do a jump cut there to make sure I do this right. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to the last row of 2 here on the outside, and we're going to go from the end block, which is this one here, and we're going to add 1, right, and then we're going to add 3 rows of 2 up. So 1 2 3 up like that. So it's 3 rows of 2 up, and then 4, 1 2 3 4, and then 2 1 2, and then back 4 1 2 3, and on the inside 4, like so, and then up 4 1 2 3 4, 4 again. Hang on, so it's up, it's back 4, and then up 4. So it's back 4, then up 4, and then up 2 1 2, and then 2 again 1 2, like so. And that should bring you up to the height of this area here. So I do apologise if I'm not doing this right. So I'll check it again. So we added the first block, and then up 3 rows of 2, so 2 2 2, and then up 4, and then 2, and then it was back 4, and then it was up 4, and then 2 2 up to there. That's fine. So that's that section there, and then we move on to the next row in, which is the row of 4 here, and just double check that. And then what we do, we go from the second block back from the front, so that's the front block, go to the second one, and I'll just adjust my notes, so bear with me. So what we do, we go add 1 block, and then we go back 2 1 2, and then 3 rows of 2 again, so 2 2 2. So what it was, so it's 1 block, so we added 1 block, and then back 2 2 2 2, so it's 4 rows of 2, and then we go up 3 1 2 3, and then 2 1 2, and then back 2 1 2, and then back 3 1 2 3, and then up 3 1 2 3, and then up 2 1 2, and 2 again 1 2, and that's the same height again. So there we are, that's that section done as well. and it should look something like that. And I do apologise again if this ain't going right. Right, so now move on to the last row. I think this is, so it should be last row, next row. Yep, so this is the last row that we're going to build for this, like this anyway. So what we do on the middle block of the next row, so we've got the row of 2, the 4, and now we've got a row of 3 here. So from the middle block, we build up 1, and then we go back 3 rows of 2. So we go back 1, 2, 3 rows of 2 like that, and then we go add 3, 1, 2, 3, and then up 3, 1, 2, 3, and then up 2, and then up 2, and then back 2, 1, 2, and then up 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 and 2 again, and that's the same height again. So that's fine, that is up to the same height. So that is everything done there, and that is how that section should look. And I do apologise if it doesn't come out like this. It is a real pain in the ass to do because every section is different. So that's that. So I think what I'll do, I'll have to do the same on the other side just to get this right, to make to make sure I've explained it right. So I should do the same on the other side and try and do this as well as I can. So right, back to the last row on the end block here, add 1, and then up 3 rows of 2. So 2, 2, 2, and then 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2, 1, 2, back 4, 1, 2, 3, 3, and then 4, up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 and 2. And there we go, that's that one. And on to the next row, forward we go to the middle block, or to the second block back, we add 1 block, and then we go back 4 rows of 2, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then up 3, 1, 2, 3, and then up 2, 1, 2, and then back 2, and then back 3, 1, 2, 3, and then up 3, 1, 2, 3, and then up 2 and 2, and that's to the same height again. So that's that one. And then finally the next row along, which is the row of 3 here, on the middle block we add 1, and then we go back 3 rows of 2, so 1, 2, 3, and then a row of 3, 1, 2, 3, and then up 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 2, 1, 2, and then back 2. What was it? So it was up 3 and then up 2. Oh, and then up 2 again, sorry. So it was up 2 and then up 2 again. Apologies there. And then back 2, 1, 2. And then up 3, 1, 2, 3. And then 2 and 2. And there we go, that's that section there. So that's all the same height as the previous. So that is both sides done. I just wanted to make sure I do it everything right. So that is those sections done there, and like I said, I do apologise for not doing this properly. It is a real pain to build, but we got there nonetheless. So what we're going to do now, before I do a jump cut, is we're going to go to the centre block now of the 3 block high wall, and from the centre block we're going to go to the back on the centre here, and we're going to add 4 rows of 2 up. So from the centre block on the back we go up 2, 2, 2 and 2 like that. So it's 4 rows of 2 up like that, leaning backwards. And then from the bottom block here, this first row of 2, we're going to trace the bottom wall here round to the side. So we'll just trace, if you follow the contours of the wall below, just trace up to the corner blocks here, and just trace all the way around to connect to the next section there. And then for the next row we'll do the same as well. So trace out to the side, and back to there to connect to the next row. So it should look something like that. And then the next row along we'll do the same again, trace along. So back 2 and add 2 there. That connects onto there. And then finally the next row as well, we do the same. So trace along. So we go back 2 there, and then back 2 again. something like that. So you go back 2, 2, 2, like that, and it should look something like that. So it does blend in eventually. So if I do the same the other side, and say if you missed it the first time, you can watch me do it this side. So I do the bottom row first. Up to there, and then the next row. When you get to the end here, just go back 2, like that. And then the next row, row 3, we do the same again, just build back, tracing like so. And when we get to the end here, go back 2 and then back 2 again. And then finally the last row, we trace this one. And we get to the end here, back 2, and back 2, so 3 rows of 2 like that. And there we go, that is all connected up there. And just double checking over there, it doesn't, well, I can't really tell from here if it is lined up or not, but that is how it should look anyway. So the first sort of area of the superstructure sort of done, and we'll leave it at that for the moment. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a jump cut while I measure up the next sections, and then we can go from there. So back in a moment. Okay, back again. So what we're going to do now is move on to the next sections of this front superstructure. We will get there in the end. So what we're going to do now is go to the centre block of the front wall, so the centre block here. We're going to go to the top line, which is one of the rows we trace. So this is the top centre block here, and we'll go behind that. And what we're going to do from that centre block, we're going to build back 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, like so. So it's back 4 like that. And then on top of the 4th block, we put a centre block. So that's our colour block there. So it's, you can see it's from the centre. So we add 4 white blocks back and then a coloured centre block. And then what we're going to do is build a wall which is 11 wide, so that's 5 either side of this centre block. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that way, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that way. So you got the 11 wide that way. And then what we're going to do is build a curved wall going around to the side, and it's going to be 2 rows of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 3 rows of 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 or 3 rows of 2. So 2 and, well, 1 basically. So it's a row of 2 and then 1 block to connect to the side there like that. And it should look something like that at the moment. So I do the same on the other side. So it's 2 rows of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 3 rows of 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, and then 2, and then 1. And there we go, that's connected up there like so. And then what you do, this row we just built, we're going to increase that to 3 high. So that's 2 and 3. So increase it to 3 high all the way across. Like so. So that's halfway, just do the other half. And then the rows of 2 in there, and then we go, that's that wall increased to 3 high, and it should look something like that. It's nothing special at the moment, but you know, once it's all filled in, it'll be fine. And then as before, we go to the centre block again, centre block, and onto the back of it. And what we're going to do, we're going to add 2 rows of 2 up, so we go up 2 and 2 like that. So you can see it's leaning back, row of 2 up and 2 up like that. So from the front it looks something like that. And then like on the rows below, we're going to trace around to the outside. So trace the wall below, so trace up to the end of each section like so, up to the outside like so, and 1 block there. So that's 1 row, and then the next row we do the same, we just trace again. Up to there, and that's that one. So that's those 2 rows there. So I did the same the other side, and it will look all fine and dandy when it's done. So just trace along. To there, and then lastly the next row above. Up to there like that, and there we go, that's those 2 rows traced there like that. So now the front superstructure should look, in theory, something like this. So it's like I said, it's a real pain in the ass to build, but we're getting there. So what we'll do again is go up to the top row again, a top traced row, centre block again, so centre block here, and we go to the back of that, and this time we're going to build back 2, so 1, 2 like that, and on top of that we add a centre block there like so. So we build back 2 and then add a centre block, and as before it is another 11 wide wall, so that's 5 either side, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that way, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that way, so it's 11 wide like so. And then same as before, it's 2 rows of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 3 rows of 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 or 2, and then 1 to connect to the next section there like so. And we do the same on the other side. So 2 rows of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 rows of 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 and 1. And that's that section there. And then what we do, increase that to 3 blocks high. So 3 high across to the other side. Without doing any damage, preferably. And then the other side, of course. There we go, that's that section done there. So that's increased in height, and it should look something like that. And then lastly, behind this section we've done this front wall again. So like the last 2 rows, we go to the centre block of the back, centre wall of the front wall here, and on the back here we just add another 2 rows of 2, so 2 up and 2 up like so. So it looks something like that. And then like before, you just trace around to the outside. So trace the top wall. Just trace it around till it connects to the side there. So do the other side. Or yeah, do the top row first, then do the other side. So do the top row. And 1 there, and there we go. That's that section connected up there. So I'll do the same the other side, and hopefully don't screw this up. And finally the last row at the top. And 1 block there. And there we go, that's those sections all filled in. So that is the front of the superstructure almost complete. You know, it's still sort of preliminary, but you know, it's sort of looking like the one over there. It's a real, like I say, it's a real pain in the ass to do, but you know, it's got to be done, sort of thing. So the next job we want to do really is this gap we've got down here now, and the same with the next one above. Basically what we want to do is basically just fill in the gap with white blocks. So just build up to the bottom of the wall above it. So build up to the wall on the underside. So we'll do the same the other side. And it should look something like that on the underside, at least anyway. And then when you go around the front, you can see it's all sealed off. So you got a sort of white platform there now. So it should look sort of something like that. So that's the first tier there, and then you just do the same with the next one above. So I just go on the underside and just build up to each section. remove the blocks that you don't need, and it should look okay. So I do the same this side. Someone's getting a bit angry outside. So you don't need as many blocks as I've used, it's just to fill in the gaps basically, so you can tidy it up as much as you want. No, it's just a cosmetic thing, so you don't really need to build all the way up to underneath the wall. You can just build as far as you want, as long as you cover up the gap. That's the main thing. And it should, in theory, look something like that when it's all done. So, like I say, apologies for all the screw ups and things like that, but like I say, you know, it's a real arsehole buster, this one. So yeah, that's that. So what we're going to do is work out what to do next. So I think what we'll do is fill in the gaps basically. So fill in the gaps. Don't worry about the last section. On the side here we built these pillars, didn't we? So the last section here, we'll leave that blank for the minute, but each section forward of that we'll just fill in all the gaps up to the front wall there. So I'm just going to use we'll just fill in the gaps here basically. So I'm just going to use World Edit for this section because it's just a big white wall basically. And I'll just fill in all the, just straighten the edges off. That's not done right, I've done that wrong. Shit. Wouldn't have been like that, wouldn't it? So yeah, so just yeah, go on the inside and then fill it in. So I'm not explained it very well, but you know, just fill in this wall. So go from the front of the section back, and it should look fine. So you know, like you're filling in each section of the hull. So like so, you know, just fill it in. I didn't explain it very well, but yeah, as long as you got the front section that we built, you know, the curved section like that, as long as that's the leading edge of each section, you're okay. So I'll use World Edit for the next job just to fill this wall in. From there up to the top here, we do set quartz, and there we go. That's that wall filled in there, and there will be sections cut out and there will be windows added, but we'll just leave it blank for the minute because it is a real pain to sort out. You know, trying to add windows to a curved wall is a bit of a pain, so I'll do it in two sort of phases. We'll add the windows another day, or most of them anyway. So just fill in this section here. That's that section there. And of course do the next one along as well. It's best to go on the inside for these sections because it is a bit of a pain to do. So we just fill in the next sections. Like so. And then the next one's along. Finally the last one here, and there we go. That's one side of it done, and it should, in theory, when it's all done, look something like that. And there will be areas where some things don't look right. So you can see you got this section here, got this row of 4 here. You can add a few blocks there to make it a bit more curvy, but it's up to you if you want to leave the straight edge or make it curvy. It's up to you. But as long as you've got a rough shape like so. And the side walls there do blend in quite nicely to the curved swoop of the hull. They don't look too bad. So yeah, they don't look too bad, but like I said, there's still plenty to go on. So what I'm going to do a quick jump cut while I sort out the other side, and then we'll move on to the next job, which should be just a small, a few building blocks and maybe a deck. So we'll see. So I'm back in a moment. Okay, back again. So the last job for today is to go to the sort of the lifeboat station. So I'm going to work on the left hand side of the ship. So we'll go to the area back here. So we've got this 7 high wall which we built in part 3, which goes to almost the full length of the ship. So where the 7 high wall juts out to the side here and goes to the outside edge, we're going to add a line of blocks from the top block. So from the top block of that 7, we're going to start building from the top here, and we're going to build build back 17, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Actually make it 16, okay, so make it up to the pillar here, and underneath that pillar we'll remove those blocks. I did it, this is the same pillar I explained we remove blocks from, but we'll sort that in a minute. So build back 16, okay, I did say 17, we build back 16, so from the top of the 7 high wall on the top block, build 16 back to connect to that thing there, and then from the next one, from the next pillar here, so from this block here of the pillar, we're going to build 187. So I shall put the first block in place, which is that one, and it should be 187 long. So that's the first block. So I'll build it freehand, and it should all line up all right. So there's no guarantee of this one, but when we get to the end, all this wall we build here should line up with that deck at the end, the top deck. So that's the theory anyway, it should all line up. So this line here should be 187 long when I get to the end, or it will be 187. So how far is that? That is, that's 109, so still a bit of a way to go. So how far is that? That is 149, still a bit of way to go. How far is that? That is 181, so 182, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 187 there. So as you can see at the end of that pink sentence, 187. So it should look something like that. So you've got a long line down the side there. And then for the end of that line on the inside here, we're going to build 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 there, and as you can see, it connects to the back deck that we built in part 3, so that's all connected up there. So this is sort of the cover or the roof of what would be the lifeboat station. So that is that section all done there, so that doesn't look too bad. So that's all connected up there. So I should go to the front end again now before I do the other side, and we've got to do a bit of tidying up there. So from that top block, so yeah, so we've got that top line here. So everything in this area here between the pillar that side and the pillar at the back here, above this line here, we just build a white wall. So I shall go on top of this row of 16 and build this wall up to the pillar said point there, and then the row above it. So everything above of this wall, or everything above of that line, we just fill in with white, because the area below will be a lifeboat station. Okay, so just fill in this first few sections with white. As you can see, it's all filling in. It don't look too bad, so I should just do this as quick as I can. Like so, and that's all on top, and then you do the same with what's in front as well. So I'll fill all this in with white, and use weld edit for the rest of it. Use set quartz, and there we go. That's that section all filled in. So that is that front panel there, the end panel, and then the pillar that we got here. I did say at the beginning we removed 7 blocks, or 7 in height. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in height, and then 7. So remove those blocks there, and now we've got an open space going the full length of the lifeboat stations. But we still keep the top blocks up there, so that is how that should all look. So that's that side there, and like I say, it is complicated to explain, but you know, it don't look too bad when it's all done. So I should do the same the other side now, and if you want to quit it now you can, because it is quite tedious. So as before, on this side, on top of the 7 high wall here, we build back 16. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then from this block here, which I just destroyed, we add a line of 187. So that's the first block, and just add a line of 187. all the way along, and it should, in theory, all line up. So how far is that? That's 108, so a bit further to go. So how far is that? That is 171. That's 189, so I've gone too far, so that's 187 there, so that's 187 blocks long there, that long line. And then on the inside we had 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that connects up to the previous deck in part 3 that we built. So that is that section done there, and then we can go all the way forward and fill in that white wall again. And I'll try and do it as quick as I can because we've got to add a deck in a moment as well. So on top of this line here between pillar and pillar, we just increase or build it all in white. And it is a really tedious job, but you know it's got to be done. And I'm doing it all on camera, so I'm not skipping anything, if you know what I mean, like I have done with previous tutorials. I'll say previous tutorial, I mean the old Titanic tutorial, the very, very old Titanic tutorial I did skip a lot. But anyway, that is that section filled in. Then I'll just do this last wall here. And use World Edit for certain bits. And that last section there. And there we go, that's that section all filled in there. And as before, we remove 7 in height of this pillar, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and there we go. That is an open lifeboat station there. And on the inside now we can add the deck, which would have well, we started it in part 3, and now it goes all the way forward. So from this line, so if I start from this end, this line here will be the deck height. So as you can see, the deck will go from there across the top of these 7 high walls here and all the way to the other side. Like so. So that's the deck height. So if you can continue that deck down the front end or down the back end here. So I shall go up to it and then I shall fill it in using the fill tool. So just so you know what I'm trying to do. You can do the same with the deck below as well. So we've got 2 decks to fill in. So I'll do the top deck first, one which I'm banging on about. So I shall do the top deck. So we'll do fill wood by 3 or 22,000 or 2 billion, and that should fill all the way forward in theory. And there we go, that's the deck added there. As you can see, it now goes the full length of the ship, well almost anyway, because I did cut it short up here. As you can see, I cut it short just before the end because I built that line right across the width. But you carry on the deck all the way forward. But before I do that though, we've got to do the next deck. So I'm going to go all the way back again to the deck below, because there are 2 decks here now, because we've done the top one. Now we've got to do this middle one. So as before, this middle deck here, we're going to build that all the way forward as well. So I shall build a couple of blocks here and stand on that block and use the fill tool again. So this should go all the way forward. And hopefully it won't take it long. Oh, there we go. It's filling in. And this one should go all the way forward to the front superstructure that we just built. So just go all the way forward. And hopefully that's all filled in. And that goes, yep, that's got all the way forward up to the front wall there. And I'll just look on the outside and make sure nothing's spilled out. And yep, that's fine. And then this top deck here, I'll just carry on and fill that in all the way forward as well. So we've got all 2 decks filled in. And there we go. That's that deck filled in. And the ship doesn't look too bad now. So we've got quite a lot done. I mean, we've got the lifeboat stations. Well, not The lifeboat stations aren't built, but at least the area where they're going to be are done. So that is now all covered up, as well as the majority of the front superstructure. So like I said, we've got a hell of a lot done now, and the completion of those 2 decks. So yeah, we've got like I say, a hell of a lot done, and the ship is now starting to take shape. And I do apologise for all the screw-ups I've done during this video, but it is a real arse-ache to do. And this is why I'm getting pissed off with the lack of views that I get, because I do a lot of work but I don't get a lot of views for it. So yeah, this may be the last tutorial, I'm not sure, but anyway, enough about that. But anyway, that is it for part 4. So for part 5, I'm not really sure what to do with part 5. I think we'll just carry on with the superstructure and get it all out of the way, and we'll see about that. But yeah, we're cracking on with this ship now, and it don't look too bad. So yeah, we'll see things in part 5. So this is Rich signing off, logging off, disappearing, and like I say, I shall return in part 5. So bye for now.